Hello, welcome to Kaiba Health and Life. I'm your host, Kristen Wilisinovich, and by my side is my beautiful host, Lisa Metropolis.
Hi, Kristen. What a pleasure it is today to have such an incredible and honorable gentleman in the studio today.
I agree. You know, when we start the show, we're always so passionate and excited because we get the pre-interview. And so in the pre-interview, it just really is so massively inspirational. So without further ado, as Lisa said, it's our honor and privilege to introduce CEO and founder of the MADE Institute, Leon Abdullah Alamin.
Hello, hello.
I love
Hi,
saying
Leon.
that. I
How you
love
guys
saying
doing?
that.
It's a beautiful name. Beautiful
Thank
name.
you. Thank
What
you.
does it mean?
So actually, Leon is the name of my father, and it's just basically, from my understanding, it means a leader as well. But Abdullah El Alamin means servant of God, and El Alamin means the leader, the trustworthy one.
Beautiful.
Wow, it is beautiful. And you are CEO and founder of the MADE Institute. That's an acronym.
Yes.
What does MADE stand for?
So MADE stands for money, attitude, direction, and education. And these are the things we believe that individuals who are returning home from prison need in their life. We know everyone needs money to survive, but we want to teach them how to earn legal money. And that takes changing your attitude to do that. So that's where the attitude comes in. And we're giving you direction. So that's where the D. And then education is ongoing, whether it's academic education or life lessons in the streets or whatever you may have been through. Everything can be used as a lesson and a tool to better yourself.
Skilled trades, and you work with a lot of those foundations.
You are changing lives.
You are.
Sir.
Thank you.
What an honor and privilege that must be for you on the daily basis.
It's not easy. Definitely, it's definitely not easy. We've been having some small victories, and I'm very thankful. I give all praise to the Most High for every victory that we have and every life that we're able to reach and have an impact on.
Now, you in changing lives today, you yourself had to change your life, and you had to go through some extreme circumstances and some very, very humbling lessons throughout your life. In the beginning, Kristen,
I mean, Leon, your story and your journey is really incredible. And the fact you're still alive is incredible. Tell our viewers and listeners a little bit about your journey.
So I grew up on Flint's north side in a single-parent household. In an environment that was drug and crime-ridden. I've seen a lot at an early age, whether it was with my personal family or the family outside of my immediate family in that neighborhood. Seen a lot of people lose their lives to addiction and gun violence and things as such that really had an impact on my decision making on how I had to survive in that environment.
Well, you were young, you were impressionable,
Yeah.
you didn't have the skill set or the tools, and it was your life. And when you say family outside of the family, it was gang related, correct?
Absolutely. So when you come from a broken home, you look for love somewhere else. And for me, I was searching for it, and I found it outside the household. I ran with a crew or a gang, or if that's what we want to call it, called the Pearson Hood Posse or Pearson Hood Gang.
Okay.
And we really helped destroy that community. I look back now and I learn and just reflect on some of the things that we were involved in and how it had such an impact to this day of destroying lives, whether you were the user or the dealer,
Yeah.
And it's almost you were so desensitized as a child to the destruction that you caused. And one thing you said, Lisa, was, we interview people in and out, and it's always, we say we have the best job.
We
but
do, yeah.
You said you've never heard someone own their actions in the destruction.
I did. I said that to you in the pre-interview because, like I said, we have so many incredible and amazing people that come on.
You included.
You included. And I've never heard anybody say, I helped contribute to the dire aspect of my community. Personally, single-handedly, I helped do that. And that is just that vulnerability and that accountability, as we had talked about,
is key.
That's important.
Everything. Yeah.
That's accountability and everything is important. When I began to, when I was incarcerated, I had a lot of time to think about my choices and things that I did and to devastate that community. And I used to write letters to people, whether they respond or not, family and non-family, to the especially the women that I sold drugs to, because I know even for women, it's harder to kind of bounce back from those type of addictions, and that was the beginning stage of being accountable for my actions, and then when I was released and came back to Flint and seeing the devastation of my old neighborhood and neighborhoods like it on the east side and some areas of the south side and things like that, I just knew that I had to be involved in a way of positivity. It became kind of like my therapy. It became therapy to me to go back to these neighborhoods and want to give back and to want to give back, you got to be accountable for your actions first and foremost. And I was always kind of disappointed as I got more involved in the community as a community activist first before any organization or anything was established. Flint has a great history of athletes, especially some actors and things that came out of the city that went on to do great things. And one of the disappointments to me is that a lot of them don't come back and reinvest and get involved beyond, the book bag giveaways at school and the turkeys on the holiday. Kind of say, to each their own, to whatever way you feel you can contribute. But for me, I always felt like that was a big disappointment to me to see individuals on TV and playing sports, but never really come back to the heart of the community where what birthed them and make serious investments.
For a community that gave them so much too.
They didn't go back to the place that raised them.
So that was,
so to speak,
that was your role to come back. And what I love, Lisa, is he came back more as an activist. And did that give you time to get into the trenches, assess, and then do a needs assessment on how to move forward?
Absolutely right. I like how you said that too.
Well,
Because that's exactly what it was.
What can I say?
I had to hear the cries of the people.
That's right.
A lot of my family still remain here, and they're older now. Like my grandmother, she raised me most of my adolescent years of my life, and she don't have that strength that the grandmothers of back then had. My granny's in her 80s now. Compared to when she was 60 and on the front lines.
Right.
So yeah.
Right. It's really passionate. And how many years did you do in prison? It was federal prison, correct?
No, it was state prison.
State prison. Sorry about that.
Yes.
Okay.
The original charge was 12 to 20, but I was blessed in 2003 when the drug law changed to serve half your sentence to be eligible.
Right.
So I ended up serving 7 years in the Michigan Department of Correction.
So that kind of transitions us. What a story.
Yes.
What a journey to your own spiritual awakening and to your awakening to self-care.
Yes.
And during that time, you had a big physical transformation, correct?
Absolutely.
That happened on your first day, correct?
That's
first
correct.
day of going into prison.
Yes. So I was going through quarantine in Jackson Correctional, behind the wall, 7 block. And any individual knows about Jackson, which is actually the oldest prison in the state, where it's nothing but wall and barbed wire. And
One of the toughest.
you go through a process of kind of like a dog. They put you with 20, 30 other individuals. You got to go in these showers. There's nothing protecting y'all from seeing each other. You getting sprayed. And then you got to go take these tests, get weighed. And when I got weighed, they said I weighed 290 pounds.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, whoa. I didn't know I had got that so heavy. I'm just living that lifestyle, partying, getting high, and all the time you don't think about your health.
Right.
But when they said I weighed 290 pounds, it was a shocker, and I knew I had to get reevaluate myself and do some things to change it up.
So, and you had time to do it. You worked out in prison, which is what a lot of people do, correct?
Right. Absolutely. Even more than just working out, I started to read a lot. That was something I wasn't doing out here prior to that. Being incarcerated, I started to read all kind of books, self-help books, spirituality books, and things like that, and begin to dissect the things that you put in your body, how it has an effect on how you think, how you act. And I can see it physically. I can see it. I became you are what you eat.
That's
That kind
exactly
of
right.
stuff. I became that. I used to eat a lot of. I used to eat pork, a lot of salty foods and things like that. Drink a lot and so forth, and it was showing through my.
It was
through
just
my weight.
poison.
It was
Yes.
poison. I was putting poison in my body.
So once you had that shift in what you were putting in your body, could you physically and mentally feel the change?
Absolutely, absolutely.
You had clarity.
Absolutely. Just started thinking like on a whole higher level.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I would say that along with my spirituality, for me accepting Islam, Orthodox Islam,
Mm-hmm.
and the things I was reading and dissecting that fit me, you know, that made sense to me, that gave me a greater purpose in my journey. That really helped me transform my thinking and so forth.
Right.
I can I think it's
I
magical.
can see it.
We can see it. I mean, it's almost, Lisa, don't you think as unfortunate a situation it was, because actually we didn't even get to this. During your time, during your roles and running with the gangs, you were shot in the head and
That's right.
left for dead in front of your house at age
I was actually 20 years old.
20 years old.
Yeah.
They rush you to the hospital. You're in ICU, intensive care. How long did it take for you to recover? And they didn't think you were going to make it.
That's true. So actually, I was in a coma for about 30 days.
Wow.
When I woke up, I can recall the day I woke up. I used to have braids too, and my hair was kind of like right down to my shoulders. And so I woke up with this big bandage over my head, and the nurse came in to clean it and so forth. And my mother and sister was there, and I just didn't know. It was like a dream. I was just sleeping, and then when I wake up, so I tried to raise up, and I didn't have my strength in my body.
Yeah.
So I needed help kind of getting up, and I didn't know what had happened. And then, so my sister and them began to slowly explain as the nurse came in. She was saying, "So you want to see it?" And I said, "See what?" She
You
was
had no
like,
clue,
I had
did
no
you?
clue.
Why you were
Didn't know you
there,
were
where
shot.
you were.
I didn't know I was shot. And when she took that bandage off my head, I went into shock. I broke out crying and
Right.
was like, wow, I didn't even think my head would grow back to where it's at now. It was like a depot. It was actually like pink. You can see the meat.
Right.
And that really
Wow.
was an experience, for me.
So this man is a magic man.
Yeah.
Let's, young, growing up in some of the worst neighborhoods in Flint, Michigan, gang association, shot in the head. You are a survivor and thriver and warrior. 7 years in prison. During this time, that's when this awakening happens for you. Physically, mentally, you forge these beautiful relationships with mentors.
Absolutely, they
Correct?
were.
Yeah.
That's true. They were actually lifers.
Yeah.
So individuals who were serving all day in there, projected not to ever come back out, who was going to eventually die in the prison, became like big brothers and mentors to me. Two in particular, Mubarak Ahmed. He's from Yemen. He resides in Southwest Detroit when he caught his case. And then another gentleman by the name of Dwayne Roper, who we call Hodge. He's out of the Lansing area. And these two individuals, I would watch them all the time. We were on 22-hour lockdown, so you only got to go outside 2 hours out of every day.
Wow.
Right.
And so you got to take advantage of the time you got out. But I will pay attention. I was adjusting to my environment, and I will just see how calm these individuals were, even though they were serving a life sentence. And at a certain time, they will always leave off, and I found out for them what they were doing was going to pray. And one day I kind of followed them, and I observed how they prayed, and I began to ask questions of, what's that? What are you guys doing? And they're explaining to me, and they both were Muslims. And from there, that journey of just, reading, because I never associate or take part in anything I don't know nothing about first. So I wanted to really observe it. I didn't just want to seem like I was
Jump in.
Yeah, just jumping in. But as I began to read that, as well as other faiths, I found things in Islam that fit to meet my need. It gave me like a certain discipline that I needed. So much energy that I had in me that I know if it wasn't structured and disciplined right, it can go the opposite way. And
At any given moment.
any given moment, especially in that environment. You know, and as I began to read and observe, and then ultimately what we call take your shahada is when you declare that you want to become a Muslim or practice the Islamic faith. And I took my shahada, converted to Islam as my spiritual development, and began to just read as much as I could and learn as much as I could from the way we pray and things like that. And those things became my discipline.
Right.
Fasting, doing the holy month of Ramadan, 30
Right.
days of fast, something I never did in my life. The first time it killed me. Like,
Yeah.
I can't
You're like,
do
what?
this.
Yeah.
Staying from water and eating from, from
Sunup to
sunrise to
sundown.
sunset.
Yeah.
But, my understanding from fasting, it's actually very good for your system,
Yes.
from what I understand. So
And you were on this health journey already. I know that you said when you were in Jackson, you only had a couple hours a day, maybe 1 or 2 hours there also. And that's when you started your journey right away and you started walking. And then a lot of people, there's so much offered today to get healthy, and they're all very good products, but you walked, and that's to go back to the basics. It's important to let people know that
Absolutely.
just go outside and move.
Just
Go
stay
walk
active,
around
move.
your neighborhood. Go take a walk.
we think we have to
somewhere.
do this CrossFit or this
Exactly.
high intensity
Exactly.
training or run marathons. Truly walking.
You had nothing at your disposal
Changes.
other than your legs and your mind. And
legs and mind.
This is what I need to do, and that honestly, doing that every day. And you only had an hour, like you said,
Absolutely.
2 hours maybe, and that changed your entire
Trajectory.
trajectory, your entire health.
Absolutely. I
physical
mean, it's
health.
the simplest things.
Yeah.
You know, when a lot of things is taken away from you,
Yeah.
you really have to dig deep within and utilize every aspect of your mind to cope with whatever it is that you're going
That's in
through.
front of you.
That's in front of you.
Because
And that's
sometimes
exactly
it's
what
so
happened.
overwhelming. I bet it was such an experience that you couldn't believe it was happening, for one.
It's true.
Then for two, the adjustment. Then, like you said, going deep in your soul. And then shifting. And then going out there and being that higher power that you've tapped into. And that's what you've done.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely.
I'm so
I could cry.
honored and I feel so blessed to sit here every week with you, Kristen, and to just talk to people who are doing the most incredible things for their community. You truly
Unbelievable.
are a servant. You're servant in every way,
and-
and that is everything.
And I think, too, like you said, you hit the key points with him owning the behavior,
It's important.
owning who you are, going out there, tapping into the higher power. I'm telling you, that is a gift that many don't receive. And I want to ask you a quick question. Do you think those mentors there, when they tapped into their purpose and mission, the ones that were lifers, they knew that their purpose and mission were to mentor people coming in who were coming out to start putting out beautiful out in the world?
I absolutely believe that as well. Maybe not in the beginning, but as time went on and they really tapped into their spirituality and reached their soul, I think that gave them greater purpose.
Yeah.
And they knew they had the ability to give that gift to people coming in who eventually would be coming out or would be in there with them
That's true. That's true.
for quite some time.
Absolutely.
Wow, pretty incredible. So real quickly, now let's get to some other great things.
Yes.
Made Institute, 5 years?
Yes, we were established in 2015. And, it really was birthed out of the need of, my personal life.
Yeah.
And the many individuals who have followed me down that old road, or so to say, made bad decisions and went down that track. Was when I did some research here in Flint and Genesee County, the first year I think I was out, they were projecting 700 individuals that was going to return back to Flint and Genesee County. That's a lot of individuals.
That is a lot. And not all are coming out like Leon
That's true.
All Amin. So
you have a short window of reaching these individuals. Because if not, then we know survival is going to kick in and what's going to happen. So you can have all this great development and things like that going on. But if you're isolating and separating a particular class of individuals and not providing resources and things like that, all that good stuff you're doing over here is actually
going to be countered.
It's going to be countered.
Right. And especially if they get out and they get back into that same environment, we are, as humans, creatures of habit. So that same lifestyle could kick in immediately, just subconsciously, because it's so programmed into who we are. So what you're doing is brilliant. You're getting to them early. I know you work with a lot of parole officers, probation officers. You collaborate with the community.
Absolutely.
You have a lot of great partnerships among the state of Michigan, and you come in and you do your diligence to change these lives. And hey, it's like you said, it's not easy. Small victories on the daily, but that's what lead to the big victories.
Yeah.
And we know it's a crapshoot, right?
Yes.
You come in, it's going to be a 50-50 because it's as much as we want for everyone, right? It's still going to be on them.
On the individual. At the end of the day, all we can do is set the example and try to get the resources to you. So we eliminate some of those barriers that we know you're going to run up against. But once we do that, you have to walk the walk. We'll walk it with you. So when you're confused and you kind of
you're frustrated,
that's what we're there for. That's where the peer-to-peer mentoring comes in. As what happened to me, just sharing, giving back what was taught to me. I'm just sharing that, but adding the programming on there. We have a health and wellness program we just launched last October in partnership with Genesee Health Plan.
Perfect.
And we work with 10 individuals from the community who were returning citizens. Some were already out here with felons and things.
Right.
And it was very powerful.
I love it.
It was very powerful.
We love it.
And there's so many in that time, in that transition from when you first went in, when you were younger, and you didn't see some of those people coming back to the community to now. There's such a shift because so many people are coming back to the community. So many people are giving back to the community that have found success outside of Michigan and outside in a global, national and global level. So those people are coming back now, and it's so wonderful and beautiful to see. And I know you have great relationships with many.
Yeah.
It's empowering. It's definitely empowering, and especially when you see individuals who really believe in the message that you're giving them. Yeah. But then they begin to act upon it. Yeah. And then when you step away a little bit and then you come back for a time, say after a year or so, and they're still out here applying those principles and tools and life skills that you're providing them, and you see how it's affecting their lives and their family lives, it's nothing greater than that.
Oh, what a gift. Okay. We're running out of time. We could sit with you for days. Yeah. How can people get a hold of you, Leon?
Yes, you can go to our website at www.madeinstitute.org, or you can reach us at 810-835-8304. And we're also just moved into our new office space in the downtown area on 503 Garland Street off of 2nd inside of Woodside Church, 48503, Flint, Michigan.
48503.
Yes.
Wonderful. Thank you. You are going to be a regular on Kaiba Health and Life.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for talking about your physical and spiritual journey. The fact that you're here and now you're out there changing lives is massively incredible. The resources for family members, if you're just coming out of the system and you need help, please reach out to Leon. Yes. They will help you. It's frustrating, and we know many come out and they wanna work and they wanna contribute to society and they wanna start paying taxes. And Leon and his team and the organization can provide you the tools necessary to help get you acclimated back to becoming a civilian. And also the health and wellness side, that is key. Self-care is key. So thank you beyond words. So
thank
Leon
you guys for having me.
Al Amin, CEO and founder of the Made Group, thank you. Lisa Metropolis, as always, my gorgeous, beautiful co-host. And to you, our listeners and viewers, you are everything. This has been Kaiba Health and Life.